Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East with probably the very final turn of the game, and if not, the pre-final turn. Let's take a look. I have a bunch of stuff to do here. So let's start with the 18th Army once again. Seems like I can actually get in there. So what I want to do is just move up, and the thing is the AI tends to attack over in this spot, attacking this 3000 strength unit. I'll just plug the gap with the Finns here, why not? And they're not very likely to attack down here, or at least not with a triple stack, so that should be fine. I would think. And I wonder. So if I don't attack with these, it's probably quite tricky here. It didn't even go that badly. I mean, I cannot take Tigfin, but in case there is another episode, one more turn, I might. I've been talking about getting Tigfin for a long time, and that being an objective. So I don't think I can move into this here swamp hex ultimately, but yeah, that means I'll move the more powerful unit in there, just so that my my line looks a little bit better. God, there's just so much heavy woods here. It's insane. Like, there's nothing there. It's kind of ridiculous. All right. Didn't pose that much of a threat ultimately. I don't think this attack will succeed. You never know. No, that was a bit unlikely indeed. Let's pull you back though. See if we can smack them. Yeah, we did. Nice. And I cannot get into that hex now. Look, okay, that makes them very weak. Sure. I'll just move up into that hex then. And go up here. I mean, I'm not really sure what these guys are supposed to do. This is a rifle division, but given that it's just a singular division like that, I don't see too much threat in it. At least I smacked a bunch of tags there. Now, I can't... Huh. 60, eh? Yeah, I wanted to move these guys out because they're very weak anyway. 32% is not a lot. There is no other city in the near vicinity that I want to get this to, though. I mean, up here, technically. There is one. But okay, this is gonna be crap. Well, I want to displace those guys and move in here. Need a pretty serious attack to dislodge them. From a level 3 stack there. These guys also cannot move into this hex now. But all in all, it's fine. Yeah, I do have the other core there as well. Okay. And then there are these two. They are both below 70. By now I don't have a rail unit there actually. One thing, I don't want to say that bothers me, but like I know by this point they're not gonna surrender, but because there's only one turn left, I might just as well just try to either push them back and or rout them to still take as many hexes within this area as possible. Well, I do need to attack this unit, so I will grab the stacks. Okay, that has to be a victory. Okay, there we go. And they can technically already, they could get in there. This is a bit tricky though. Another thing I could do is at least get a unit from there and get it in here. I mean, I guess they have another unit there. The whole situation around Moscow is a bit of a mess. As it is. But let's try to get rid of these guys as well. By this point, I do have a pretty fair control over what's going on here. And again, I think just routing these guys is probably fine. If it wasn't the very last turn, I would be looking to encircle them, sure. But since it's the very last turn, it makes me want to just take as much territory as possible. So I think routing them just like that is fine now. I just want to secure as much territory as possible here. Moscow has not been getting supplies for 2 turns, actually. Because every single time during their turn, it had been isolated. So... That's pretty tough, but they retreated at least. It allows me to reduce the pocket little by little. Well, I'll be going in here. This might still not work. And very likely it won't. But we'll see. It did. Alright, that's another 25,000. That's nice. I wanted to get rid of these guys for quite a while there. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Okay, there we go. Huh. Okay, they retreated anyway. That's still a pretty tough battle. These guys are no joke, so that's why I'm really just pushing it. Alright, no need to do anything there for the moment. I might actually attack this unit with some armored units or something. I'll see. Okay, so I guess the 8th Corps is in that position there. Now, that would also mean I will have the 27th Corps move over in this general direction. The question is, do I want to route these? I mean, maybe. The units here aren't doing particularly great, but it's not that bad either. Let's just try and attack them. There's only got pushback. It's a pretty powerful unit, given their strength there. Indeed. Right, so I have the 35th Corps that can also plug this gap somewhat. Oh, that's the wrong HQ. Moving them into Columna. From here, if I were to have pushed those guys, then that would let's just beat those guys back again. I want to certainly also just call you back. That's funny that they would have a depot somewhere around there. Now this allows me to make a little bit more sense out of the 9th Army as well. Let's move the 9th Army into Sapukov here. Since they're now decisively east of Moscow as well. I mean, the fighting north of Moscow is pretty fierce still. Don't get me wrong with the pocket opening and closing still, but that's literally the only area where they can potentially do stuff like that. Also because the terrain is so poor there, I'm getting little supplies there. It's not that bad, but let's work on this here. Bam. It's actually, if you think about it, it's pretty funny. Like the rail line has to go from here and then here, through here, and then back, and then up. It's a bit of an absurd rail line, but hey, that's fine. It's a shame there's no rail line in between here. Like the rail does go up here and then it goes into Moscow, and only from Moscow does it once again divert. Let's actually move. Oh, didn't fix it up there yet. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It might be that I can connect this rail. Might be. But I think rather let's do this. Yeah, exactly. It does turn into a 2. So what I'll be doing then, if there is another turn, I'll be fixing up this rail, and I would otherwise, you know, then build it back up. But that's obviously not a thing now. Fourth Army. Let's take a look. Okay. That's not exactly the way I would have imagined things here. The thing is, though, that I think crud. Just a retreat. Alright, there you go. There's that. And now it's not as if these guys can go any further than that, but I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that I can cut off that tiny piece there. Right. This does leave a bit of a gap here, but look, I'm so stretched that I really have to do stuff like that in order to still have some semblance of a line here. Seems like they do have a unit in here. Might be able to beat that with a soft attack, or yeah, that's probably a good idea. Sweet. And they have another unit there. That's not too bad. Even. 1, 2. kind of need to keep 2 units there so they don't walk into Tambov out of... nothing. There you go. And I don't really need to... Yeah, there's nothing to work on the rail line there, either way. I'm inclined to do some of the easier stuff first, anyway, as I'm wont to do. Oops, that was bad. Let's try that one again. Retreat, eh? Another retreat? Really? Talking about being annoying. This probably doesn't work. I'm not having a very good day when it comes to these. There we go. Retreat again. Okay. That's at least one surrender. Wow, that's nuts. Cavalry holding. Okay. Okay, let's get those guys together. Let's take... Like, I don't want to attack with the tanks, so... Or ideally. Yeah. Oh. Okay, this has everything except the armor. Go in there. $7,000, eh? But against 10-to-1 odds, it almost doesn't matter what their combat value is. This is pretty interesting. Why would they suggest losing all of this? 67,764. They only have that rifle division in there. That's super weird. I got Stalingrad. But I'm not so sure what's going on there then. Okay. Seems the bug is back. And immediately screwing me over. Okay. It's fine though. I'll take care of things. This pocket should go now though. That's pretty much the way I see it. That's across the river. Not a big fan. But you cannot do a hard attack any other way. Let's start with this rail line though. Crap. Oh well. Just the last piece. But that means that the rail line to Vornage is also cleared. Nice. Right, so... let's keep going. See if I can get a few more Hungarians to bear on them too, which I can. Could be that they still make some contribution, which would be nice. Surrender, surrender. Alright, it's another 18,000 gone. Quite good. Okay, well let's just do this. Move in here, that will at least take those 2 hexes. You surrender. This technically has me get the option to get a rail line towards Borsoghelsk and then move that down. Technically, it would have me have 3 rail lines towards Stalingrad at that point. Whatever that's worth. Now I cannot clear the entire pocket in one go. How are the Hungarians doing anyway? Because this Mount Brigade, most of these are not even doing that poorly. You're below 70, above, below, below. Well, I'll have these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. Wait it out a little bit over here. No reason to get all riled up. They have only units up in here that can no longer move, really. I mean, they can move to the side, but they cannot partake in any other activity. Let's get that HQ out there. There we go. Now, the 6th Army units cannot do any kind of attack anymore, so in such a case, I might just as well move them. Getting them across the river is also nice. 514. I really wanted to break this up into smaller chunks. No, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I think it's pretty valuable. Let's move these guys back a bit for potential refitting. And this core is now a lot closer to the Stalingrad HQ on there. All of these guys can still self-attack them. It was worth a shot, I suppose. Pretty poor shot, but let's keep you at ready, you at refit. Not that I think they'll get a whole lot since they're so far away from any potential rail line. Okay, here we go. The other thing, I think that is that wasn't my intention. You see, one of the things that I think is probably pretty interesting is to see how much territory of the Volga I can get. It's probably a lot. But I would think it's also very dependent on the amount of turns that I still have. Let's sort out these Italians a little bit here, because I don't want to say they're done, but I want to make some order in the chaos. And the 22nd. Let's take this Hungarian troop. There we go. It's they're at least sorted quite nicely. I can keep the 8th Army there. It's looking reasonable. I'll move the Romanians at least 1 hex away from combat if I can help it. So they don't suffer any attritional damage here. They too would need to get sorted. In a way, because, well, as you can see, it's a bit of a mess there too. Alright, there we go. I don't want them to retreat, so I'll move in there. Attack. It wasn't a lot. I'm still happy that they're gone. This is the... okay, so the 4th Romanian Corps is dealing with that. Very likely then... oh, they do have something in there. You see, the Soviets did dump a lot of units around here for whatever reason. Not really sure what they're trying to protect. Like the Volga up here? Or are they trying to protect Astrakhan? It's a very curious decision to develop or to deploy like that. I'll just move back, trying to get out. Like it's not a very very critical thing here. Let's take Kortelnikovo or Kortelnikovsky according to the game. I wonder which one of the two it is then. Tanks, eh? 18. I can give it a shot. Nice. What that means is if I beat them away from this here hex, the approaches to Stalingrad, like the rail lines, are now under our control. Which is pretty neat, I think. Just like that. Well, naturally I would need to get some of these guys out of Stalingrad. Now, if the game were to last longer, what would I do? Well, I would say that 4th Panzer Army then, I guess, would be tasked with getting to Astrakhan. Not that that's going to be easy, since we're going to get, you know, to the rain season here. So, you know, we got Stalingrad in time for the rainy season, sure. But then they still need to get all the way to Astrakhan. It's not very likely they would get there, either which way. Like, the problem in that sense is that because I'm so late, there's no way I can get to Grozny or Makakala within any reasonable time frame for this year. There just isn't the time. That doesn't mean that I think that the territory that we took this year has been, you know, bad. If you think about it, though, it is maybe just 1/3 of the territory that I took during the first year. So even though the gains that we made are significant, ultimately, I don't think it amounts to, like, super much. It feels like it's maybe 1/3 of all the territory that was taken during the first year. So in terms of advancement, it still does not look like the Germans did all that amazingly much, even though, like, what the heck, distance from Orel to Tambov, it's huge, obviously, but Orel Tambov is not a Warsaw Minsk. Even the distance is less than here. So, like, Warsaw Minsk maybe is like a Voronezh Saratov. And had the Germans gotten only to Minsk during the first year, that would have been just an absolute failure. So, like, going from Warsaw right up to the gates of Moscow, because I was at Moscow, basically from here to here, is basically a Moscow-Kuybyshev kind of jump again, or Moscow-Kazan. I would say they would have made similar gains to the first year by that point if I'd reached Kazan, but obviously I'm nowhere close, which makes sense, but still. Look, I'll just grab these Volga hexes. Do I want to push them off? I mean, I don't think it's that bad to go and try. The thing is actually that I do want to get these guys from 4th Panzer back down, in a way. So, you know, there is that. Second Panzer is doing a lot better, so that's nice. They're at 74% TOE right now. They could definitely do better. Seems like they got a bunch of French tanks here. Still, huh? Panzer IIA. Talking about disappointments. One thing that I'm interested in looking at, though, is how we are on the captured equipment and what I might be potentially using. Currently, still none except for the heavies. Anything interesting that I did capture, because I'm not very likely to capture more. Really? Oh, this is a 33, 34. Oh, this is T28, T26. Those are very different indeed. Got a Matilda here, first one of its kind. Started getting some T-34-42s. We already got quite a few of those. Started getting some Valentine 3s. KV 1942 tanks as well. Didn't see those before. IS-2 M1943. Really? Really? first year in 1943. It's 1942. How did they even get this? Like, not not to be a dick, but if I've already captured 6 IS-2s by 1943, like, what the heck, man? That's absurd. Okay. What? I don't know. Really? Nothing special here. T-70 942 models, already seen those. Got a bunch of Stewarts, already had those. .2mm AT guns. Gazillion howitzers. It's all nothing special here. Got a lot of the 203mm B4 howitzers now. Quite a few. Already saw those. Keep clicking them. Looks like got quite a few more rocket launchers now. Not that we would ever be able to use those on our SP rocket. That's not in any TOE of any German unit. Though I would find it interesting if the Germans would be able to make something out of that. Okay, these guys are doing pretty well, so I would send them up. Yeah, let's just get them here. They would deal with clearing out that pocket anyway. Also quite confident in moving up 4th Army to Sir Vakino. And I mean, look, I kind of have to move these guys into Stalingrad, right? Come on. 6th Army has to be in Stalingrad. Under von Reichenau still. This guy is still alive. How did this guy survive? I knew he would do the job. It's not a job for Paulus, but von Reichenau surely can, I suppose. Or something like that. Let's work on the rail line down south. It would be nice to have that go full circle. That won't be happening anytime soon, at least for another 1 or 2 turns. Like I might not be able to make it all the way, but that doesn't matter because the turns would be over anyway. I will build the depots there. Wow. That voice flip over. Anyway, I am gonna wrap things up. So once again, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Not sure whether the next one will be the last, or maybe it will be the one afterwards. Well, I'll have to see. I mean, the turns still take pretty long. I still have a lot of things to do, so there is that. I did do a bunch of stuff already. Man, some of these things are just a bit of a disappointment. It's like, man, I really would have liked getting Tickfin at the very least. Don't mind if the Soviets hold here, but I don't know. It's just something like a big prize. Same for Moscow. Had I been able to get in there, that would have been great, but just didn't have the turns and the time this year. So it kind of sucks. I mean, I would have taken it ultimately. There's no way the Soviets would have been able to counterattack or retake it. But whatever. Can you like, also to imagine for the Soviets to say like, okay, well, they're also almost at Saratov. Pretty crazy at that. We do have the Volga on a pretty wide range here. Definitely building 2 depots in Stalingrad like that. Right, but like I said, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do consider leaving a like and a comment or subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Once again, take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.